Hey everyone, welcome to another deep dive.
Excited to be here.
This time, we're really diving into something interesting, the Nirvana Diamond Project.
Yeah, it's caught our eye. Definitely not your run-of-the-mill app, huh?
Right, and we've got a ton of materials on it, which is great. Notes, target audience profiles, even a demo script, the works.
I'm serious about this.
It's ambitious. Using AI, blockchain, all to tackle how we connect, or I guess don't connect, in this digital world.
It's very now. That need for something more real is everywhere.
Okay, so let's get into it. Why now? Why does a project like Nirvana Diamond make sense right now?
I think you got to start with the problem they're addressing. Digital isolation. We're glued to our screens.
More connected than ever.
Yet lonelier, and the research backs it up, which is kind of ironic.
It's true. You scroll through, see everyone's highlight reel, and somehow feel worse.
It's not just about being physically with people either. Nirvana Diamond is getting at something deeper.
Oh, like quality versus quantity of connection.
Exactly. They even use this phrase, it stuck with me. Hollywood of the past, life is the stage. They want to make us the stars of our own lives again, not just, watching everyone else's show online.
I like that, because honestly, how much of our lives are just consuming content these days?
A lot. And that ties into the why now even more.
Yeah.
We're shifting from that tech-obsessed Industry 4.0
to Industry 5.0, right? Where it's about human well-being being at the center.
boom. So Nirvana Diamond is like this response. We created all this amazing tech.
Well, we have to make sure it serves us, not the other way around.
Exactly. It's acknowledging that just because we're constantly pinging each other, that doesn't equal meaningful connection. And that message is really hitting home for people right now.
So we've talked about the why behind Nirvana Diamond, this whole idea of combating digital isolation with more meaningful connections. But how do they actually plan to do that? What's the magic formula?
Yeah. Yeah, it's not just one thing. It's this combo of high tech and honestly just understanding people.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Give me the breakdown.
So their platform, right, AI powered, and it's all about curating personalized experiences, like really tailored to you.
So like a bespoke connection service.
Kind of, but broader. Say you're into sustainable living, right? Or maybe immersive art installations, something niche even, like, I don't know, collecting antique teacups.
Okay, I'm already picturing how this works with the teacups. Go on.
So you feed that into the platform, your interests, and here's where it gets cool. It's not just matching you with anyone else who also likes teacups.
Because that's what, like, every other app does.
That's
right?
exactly. This is about what they call, get this, synchronicity-driven connection.
Okay, I gotta be honest. That sounds a little out there, even for this. What does that even mean?
Think of it like those moments where you meet someone and it feels meant to be, like the universe nudged you together.
Serendipity.
Yeah, but they're using AI to try and engineer that feeling. They're looking at your values, how you communicate, even like how much you wing it versus plan things out.
So it's not just matching interests, it's matching vibes. I don't know if there's a better word.
No, you got it. And that's where blockchain comes in.
Okay, had to get there eventually, right? Everyone's doing something with blockchain these days. How does that fit into all this connection stuff?
Trust and proof. It's like this unbreakable record of your experiences, the connections you make, even what you contribute to the whole thing.
So like a public diary, but like way more secure and verifiable because it's on the blockchain.
Exactly. And this ties into their whole thing about brands and stuff getting involved too.
Ooh, right, they mentioned that. So I can unlock special access to like ethically sourced teacup makers or something.
Totally. Or exclusive tours of art studios, you name it. It's like those loyalty programs, but instead of points, you're getting stuff you actually care about.
Okay, so I'm starting to see how they're putting all this together. But it seems like their target audience is super important here, right? This isn't for everyone.
You got it. They've really nailed down these like user personalities. It's not just demographics, it's more like mindsets.
Walk me through a couple just so I'm picturing it right.
All right, so Taylor, they call this one the adventurous soul. Over tourist traps, wants to craft their own unique trip, meet cool people along the way.
Okay, yeah, who'd use this for travel for sure. What else?
Jordan, the ethical consumer, really cares about sustainability, fair trade, all that. Hard to know who to trust these days, but Nirvana Diamond wants to make that crystal clear.
So they'd connect Jordan with brands that actually walk the walk, not just slap on a green label.
100%. And because it's all tracked on the blockchain, there's that extra layer of like proof behind it.
This is smart. They found a real problem, a way to solve it that could work, and the exact kind of person who'd be into it.
Yeah.
But how do they make money? That's the big question, right?
It is, and that's where things get really interesting.
So we've got this big idealistic vision, right? Tech that seems straight out of sci-fi, people who are ready for this. But how does Nirvana Diamond actually work as a business?
$1 million question for sure. And the materials, I gotta say, they're a bit vague on the specifics. Startup life, right?
Well,
But one thing's clear, scalability is huge EE for them.
makes sense. You're not building this whole meaningful connection empire just to stay in Stockholm forever. So how do they go global and pay the bills?
Subscriptions? Probably. Pretty standard.
Yeah, like a free version, but then you level up for the really good recommendations, the exclusive events.
Exactly. But then those brand partnerships they're talking about, that's where the real money could be.
Oh, for sure. Companies would be lining up to reach those hyper-specific audiences they've identified.
Right. Like imagine the marketing campaigns, the co-created events, and it all goes back to those user profiles. They're offering brands something way more targeted than just like age and location.
And we can't forget that creator marketplace thing they mentioned.
Oh, yeah. People selling their own unique experiences.
Like an Etsy, but for like real life,
Yeah.
that could blow up.
Totally. Hollywood of the past, remember, they're setting the stage, but it's users providing the entertainment, the connection.
Okay, so the potential's there, I'm convinced. But I got to ask, the tech side of this, that AI especially seems crazy complicated.
No kidding. How do they actually pull off that synchronicity thing? They don't really say.
Right. Like, I get how an algorithm learns I like, say, indie music and vintage clothes. But how do you teach it to recognize authenticity, meaningful connection?
That's the $1 million question. What data are we even talking about here?
And how much is too much?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, personalize my experience,
Yeah.
but I don't need my soul read on the blockchain, you know?
It's tricky. Where's that line between like, wow, they really get me, and feeling like kind of creeped out? That's something they'll have to figure out.
Huge ethical implications. But maybe that's the whole point of this deep dive, huh? It's not just about whether Nirvana Diamond succeeds or not.
It's making us think about where all this is going. Can you really engineer a genuine connection? And even if you can, should you?
Big questions and honestly no easy answers.
Nope. But that's what's so thought-provoking about this whole thing. Whether it's Nirvana Diamond or something else, the future of how we connect, we're figuring it out as we go.
Totally. Well, on that note, I think we've given everyone plenty to chew on. What an interesting project. Lots of potential, lots to think about. Thanks for diving deep with me.
Anytime. Always a pleasure.